This is From Justin to Kane, a podcast where Mike Robertson and Bob LaRue watch one critically acclaimed film and one terrible film and talk about how they are the same. How weird would it be if we started the episode by saying this feels over?
That would be great.
The year,
a nice
I mean.
twist.
Yeah.
This feels over. The year 2021.
I know. Isn't that trippy? I keep thinking it's 2020 still. Now we're in 2022.
Well, it's because we're in 2020 part 2.
Part 2.
Now we're in 2020 part 3, which is called 2022.
Part 3. Well, anyways, welcome everybody. This is From Justin to Kane. This is our year-ending wrap-up, I guess. I'm Bob.
Yes, I'm Mike.
As always, we have no guests, just us.
As always.
Mike is in a house coat.
As always.
I'm wearing a black t-shirt and blue jeans because I don't own anything cozy.
Mm-hmm.
We're both drinking coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Feels like the morning, but it's the afternoon for us. Anyways, this is going to be our year-ending sort of just like shoot the shit, you know?
Recap.
Apparently, coming out this year, in the year of our Lord 2022.
Yeah.
2023. Oh my God, Jesus.
No, it's 2022.
2023. Is it 2022?
This year, right? Oh my God.
I thought it was 2023. Holy shit.
Oh my God. What did you think happened? You think that this is the third year of the pandemic?
Yeah. I don't know. Anyways, apparently there's a new Sonic the Hedgehog coming out this year.
Oh, yes. Yes.
In this calendar year. I can't wait for us to talk about it. We're going to dedicate a whole episode. I'm making that promise right now.
Sweet. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Well, we never did do an episode on the original one.
Yeah, we did.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did.
Sonic the Hedgehog?
Didn't we?
No.
I thought we for sure did.
No, Bob, you must have some sort of brain fog.
Wow. We did an episode on Sonic the
No.
Hedgehog.
We've just talked about how you're horny for Sonic, but we didn't ever talk about...
Oh, I swear
movie
we did
itself.
Sonic.
No, but guess what? We get to do an episode about the first Sonic, if you want.
I mean, that would be nice, I guess.
We don't have to.
Didn't we do it?
No, because it's not like a good movie and it's not a bad movie. It just kind of is a movie.
What? Wow, we've done a lot of episodes.
Yeah, we're all getting close to 100.
I can't believe we breezed over 69.
I know. Well, we did acknowledge that it was 69 and that it was a nice episode.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
And when it gets to
true.
420, we'll definitely acknowledge that.
It just sucks that we have to wait so long before we can do like a fun episode again. You know? Because 420 is a long time away.
Yeah, just really slogging through these episodes trying to get to 420.
We're just racing. Yeah, exactly.
And we're such a notorious stoner podcast anyway, so.
Anyways, we're going to review this year. But Mike has the idea is not films necessarily released in this last year, the year of our Lord, but just films we've seen this last year.
Yeah. Well, we can talk about movies that came out in 2021. I didn't really watch a crazy amount.
I went to a few. Well, it's tough, like with the whole theater thing and like the releases and stuff. There are many I haven't seen, but I've seen a handful, and they were all bangers. This was a good year for new films.
Oh, was it?
It was, I think. I think like Green Knight was a real banger.
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
Edgar Wright's new movie was pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
Dune, apparently very good.
Dune?
The Spider-Man movie, very fun apparently.
Yeah.
Wes Anderson's new movie, French Dispatch, I really liked. So there have been some good movies.
Yeah, these movies are. Sounds like most of these movies, except for Spider-Man, and maybe Dune, are available to stream now.
You can buy Dune.
Oh, you can buy
or
Dune
like
already?
rent it now.
Yeah,
it's $25 on YouTube.
Yeah, I rented The Green Knight on Apple iTunes or whatever they call it now.
Yeah, Apple Flicks.
Yeah, the other day, but I haven't started it yet. It was $2.
Right. I was going to ask you what you thought, but I guess we'll have to save that for a subsequent episode.
Yeah, no.
Maybe it'll be a good
I haven't
movie.
seen it yet, but I will, yeah. So, yeah,
Cool.
do you have, what are your top 2021 movies, new movies came out this year?
Well, a movie I just watched is called Happy as Lazaro. and it's an Italian film. It's on Netflix.
This is new, or is this that old
Netflix
one?
film. It's from 2017.
Oh, okay.
And it was amazing. I was blown away.
Mm.
It was really, really good. I watched it like 2 days ago. That's why I bring it up, because it's very fresh in my mind. Or maybe 3 days ago. But it's about like this, just a bunch of families are on this like tobacco farm. And you don't understand like where they are, what era it is. But they're basically all in this like, it's called sharecropping, where people were basically enslaved onto Italian tobacco farms. And they weren't allowed to leave because they were the property of whoever was the head of the state.
Yes.
Estate. And but it's like this, it's like, I think it's the 80s or something, and it's been outlawed for like 100 years, but they don't know that because it's so multi-generational.
Right.
And then a cop basically discovers them, and then they all get released. Then Lazaro, the protagonist, is like this guy who doesn't age, and he's a metaphor for some sort of religious figure. I don't know. I didn't do any research, but
Jesus? No, Jesus ages.
Yeah, Jesus definitely ages. But anyways, it's just a very cool Italian movie shot on 16mm film. It's like funny and charming and surreal, as a lot of Italian films are. It felt like a Fellini. There were Fellini vibes.
That's the highest compliment you can get for if you're an Italian filmmaker. Someone
getting roped in with Fellini files.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you are like this other
different from
famous guy.
fettuccine files. People who love fettuccine, but I'm a Fellini file. I love Fellini.
I'm a fettuccine file.
Yeah, you love fettuccine. It's all you talk about. Big fettuccine fan over there.
Got the Criterion fettuccine box set. It's just a box full of noodles.
That's awesome. Really expensive. Came in the mail in a gray box. Criterion Collections. Are they noodles? I mean, fettuccine is obviously a certain shape, but are they all shaped like discs? Like spun like discs?
Yes, they are. Yes.
Good. Excellent. Anyways, that's one movie. I'd say Green Knight, David Lowery's film, is also a top 2021 pick for me. It was amazing, but I want to hear your thoughts once you see it, because you haven't seen it yet. How about you? Any standout movies there, Mike?
Nothing. I mean, the year 2021, I didn't watch a crazy amount of newish stuff. I'm halfway through the Beatles movie.
Right.
And that one, I feel like if I had to rank things, probably going to be right at the top.
Mm-hmm.
But aside from that, yeah. I mean, Bad Trip, that movie with, it's like a Netflix movie with Eric Andre, where he kind of pranks people.
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
is it good?
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. But like that's kind of like just looking at my letterbox, that's like one of the higher rated ones. And Pig, that Nicolas Cage
Pig was
movie.
great. Yeah.
I got to give a special shout out to Old.
You love Old. Famously, you love that.
Well, it's a god awful film, but it is fun in that way that M. Night Shyamalan can only make movies.
I read a review that it's bad on purpose.
Well, I mean, that's what I've been hearing about M. Night's output since The Happening. People say...
like he's deliberately being a bad filmmaker.
Yeah, people are saying that. Like I think he even said that himself. He was like, oh yeah, I wanted to make a B movie when he made The Happening, which I can understand.
Right.
But Old, I don't know. I don't buy that reading.
Okay, interesting.
It seems like... yeah, I don't know why he would be like, I'm just going to write a really bad script. Because the movie, the worst part about the movie is the script. That's everything else about it is fine.
Well, the
acting
cast is like insane.
Yeah, but yeah.
A lot of great actors, but I guess there's nothing to work with, really.
No, it really goes to show that it doesn't matter how good your actors are. Sometimes they can't save a bad movie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Old is a great example of that. But boy, howdy, is it like a fun movie to just experience. It's also too long. So it's also
how long is
painful. Oh, I don't know. It felt like it was 3 hours, but
I guess that's like a meta thing because you're older by the time it's over because it feels so long and that you've aged. I don't know. You got to give M. Night Shyamalan more credit.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, you got to be nicer to him. Listen, let's send him an email, send his agent an email and say, let's have him on the pod and let's just really, really talk about his work and figure out like, is he bad on purpose or bad not on purpose?
Well, I'm not an apologist. Like, I'm not a super fan, but I also watch like everything he does. I think the only one I haven't seen is The Village.
Yeah, I've only seen like 3 M. Night movies, to be honest with you. So
yeah, his batting average is very low. As far as I know,
That's
how batting
true.
averages work, he's only.
But how does he keep making movies? He has a following of you, like people like you who hate him and love him, love to hate him.
Well,
is that what it is?
Yeah, he got a golden ticket after The Sixth Sense, and then he was able to make a couple of movies, and they turned out good. But then he got, I think, a little bit too in his own head about how great of a filmmaker he was, and then I think he made Lady in the Water.
That movie sucks.
Which sucks, like in a way that is kind of hard to fathom until you see it. So I don't know. I think he just kind of got into his own head a little bit, and then just the box office returns weren't as big as time went on. So he kind of had a comeback, thanks to the Blum or Blumhouse. So they let him make a couple of movies for under $4 million. And old feels like another one of those movies where it's like, oh, M. Night gets to make something super low budget, and it's very clear that there's not a lot of sets, there's not a lot of stuff going on, but it's all
just on a beach, right?
Yeah, it's all in your mind.
Yeah. I guess, yeah. I mean, maybe he didn't realize his niche was like these super low budget genre pieces.
Yeah. Well, I mean, The Sixth Sense works because you don't need anything. You don't need special effects really or anything. It's just all kind of psychological.
Yeah. I love that film because I realized I wasn't the only one who sees dead people too. It was really comforting, Yeah. It's like a great PSA that you're not alone.
It's great.
Do you see dead people? Phone this number.
Yeah, it's
Bruce
good.
Willis will take care of you.
It's good to see your experience reflected into cinema,
Yeah, totally.
Also, that came out this year. I mean, we covered these on the pod: Justice League and Space Jam. I mean, we're not talking about the best movies anymore. We're talking about the
No, you're just
worst.
talking about the trash that came out this year.
Oh yeah,
both very bad.
Yeah, but those were both fun hate watches. Also, old.
Actually, I was at my parents' house yesterday, and my dad was watching Justice League. And I was
Really?
like, whoa. And it was like the very beginning. And I was like, do you know how long this movie is? And he's like, no, why? And I'm like, do you know how long it is with commercials? He's like, what do you mean? And then he checked, and it was 5.5 hours.
Oh, so he was watching the new version?
Yeah, it was like the Snyder cut on Showcase.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was long. There's commercials every 6 minutes or whatever. Terrible.
Yeah.
Just terrible.
I don't understand people who watch movies on TV. It's
hey,
kind of an old
if you're
thing.
old, you're old. That's all I have to say. You just can't. I explain. They know what Netflix is. They know how to use it. All they watch is Schitt's Creek on it, and then they watch movies on cable.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard of HBO? They're like, yeah, we know. We have The Sopranos on box set VHS. What do you mean? We know what it is, and it's like, no, I mean, you can watch it by clicking a button.
Yeah, even the cable box has you can watch the movies that they put on the movie channel, so you can watch them on demand. So you don't even need to you can watch them whenever you want.
I know, and they know about that too.
But then
just
it just happens to be on TV, and it's like, oh, I'll watch this with commercials.
Yeah, it's it's just a habit thing. It's like a safe place. It's like you do something that's going to destroy you, but it's because it's all you know.
But it takes...
Isn't that the definition of being human?
I guess so. It takes 2 times as long, though, and it looks crappier.
Yes, all of that is true.
Yeah.
Sounds worse. Everything. It's just
everything
terrible.
about it is a worse experience, and it's like, okay, I'm going to commit to this, I guess.
Both my parents are guilty of this. They it's almost like they like commercials. And I keep showing them how to use their phone to Airstream or AirPlay stuff to their Apple TV. And then that opens a whole new world of, apps.
Yeah.
And they have all the apps. They have all the accounts. They're paying for all these streaming services and they don't use them.
Weird.
Yeah, they're psychos, man. I was raised by psychos.
My parents, I mean, I don't know if I'm talking out of turn here, but they're not the same. I mean, I'm sure they watch stuff on cable too, but they also have a Android box.
Oh, yeah.
So,
they break the law. That's good. Hey,
I'm not saying that out loud, but yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, they watch legally purchased movies on their Android box. Wink, wink.
Nice. Big wink. Huge wink. Well, my parents, I don't know, they're deathly afraid of breaking rules. Which I think is silly because a lot of rules are meant to be broken and are very arbitrary and stupid. Right, but yeah, they're just so afraid of things like that. So, and I think I've inherited some of that because I don't really legally purchase films, wink, wink, by downloading them off of the internet and blah, blah, blah. That's not really a thing. I've done it a few times, but
Right.
I avoid it, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't go to the, what's it called? Pirate Bay or whatever the hell?
Yeah.
You can download like VLC files or whatever.
But we're also living in a time where there's such an abundance of choice that we're like paralyzed by it. You don't need to go out of your way to go pirate something because there's literally so much stuff to watch that you're kind of paying not that much money for in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
Like if you, for all of the movies you watch, if you paid $5 to $7 for every one of them because you were renting them at a video store, it'd be way more than it would cost to just have Netflix and another streaming service.
Oh, totally. I watch so many movies that I can justify paying for 5 streaming services.
Yeah.
And it's still way less than going to a Blockbuster.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, you're helping pay the big corporate entities the money they need. You know, you're keeping them afloat. It's great. It's great. You're saving a little money. You got 24/7 access to Meet Joe Black on Netflix. It's awesome.
Although it is very disappointing sometimes when I'm just like, oh, I want to watch this movie that I know is on Netflix or something like that. And then you go and check and they took it off.
Yeah, that's super frustrating. But then it ends up on another service. Like The Matrix left Netflix and is on Crave.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I saw it on Netflix and I was like, oh, maybe I'll watch Matrix Reloaded.
It's all on Crave, man.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess I'll go there then, I guess.
Well, let's stop the recording right now and go watch
let's go watch it then. Yeah, okay, let's go then. Okay.
I will say I'm very excited to watch Matrix Resurrections or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah.
And apparently it's not very good.
I hear that it is kind of, an odd experience.
Yeah, but I'm excited to see it. I think I'm going to go this week maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see. So you already kind of list. Yeah, I didn't really say if I had like a best movie I saw this year that was not from this year. I don't think.
Yeah.
Well,
what is it?
Okay, so
I'm waiting with suspense, Mike.
Yeah, so I guess I didn't really have like a best movie of the year. That came out in 2021, but you know, we all watched a bunch of movies that didn't come out in 2021. And so you mentioned that, what is it? Lazaro movie was his name?
Yeah, Happy as Lazaro.
Happy as Lazaro. Wait, is this a Canadian movie?
No, it's Italian.
Italian. Oh, right. For some reason, no, I'm thinking of Monsieur Lazare or something like that, some Quebecois film. My brain just got scrambled.
I haven't seen it, although I hear good things.
I saw it in the theater, believe it or not.
Wow. You paid money to see a French-Canadian film in theaters?
There was a couple of years ago, where I was going out of my way to pay money to see Canadian movies in the theater. Me and you went and saw one. And it was not well attended.
Yes, that's right. I don't know. I mean, listen, I work on CanCon, okay? It pays my rent. I worked on a couple of indie movies, very CanCon-friendly films. But, you know, it's not always what you're jonesing to watch.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I'm maybe I shouldn't say this, but you work on CanCon, and then the last thing you want to do is pay money to see CanCon. I'd rather watch The Mandalorian, which I'm currently doing.
Okay. You're not watching Boba Fett?
Well, I'm going to do that right after.
Okay.
Book of Boba Fett. I feel like I'm surprised nobody's given me the nickname Boba Fett.
Yeah, you're right. We should call you Boba Fett.
Boba Fett. That's funny. I got Bert. I have a few other nicknames, but not Boba Fett.
People call you Bert?
Yeah, because of Robert.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Just people in my family.
That's fun.
Yeah, but that's right. We did go to that movie at the Metro Cinema.
Mm-hmm.
And 6 people? Oh, there's a Q&A. Oh, the cringy Q&A.
And
oh,
we had
fuck me.
We had to ask questions.
Just
to fill the time.
So awkward. I hate Q&As.
Yeah.
I went to a premiere in October or November for a film a bunch of my friends had made.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a Q&A, and it was well attended. Like, I think it was sold out or pretty damn near, which is easier to do in COVID times because of 50% capacity. But anyway, so it's sold out, and there's a Q&A, and it lasts like 45 minutes, and people are asking questions. But even when it's well attended, there are these huge pregnant pauses that are so fucking uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I would love to see you do a Q&A, Mike.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, I feel like you'd bring a really funny vibe.
I would. I would,
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
But anyway, movies that I saw this year that didn't come out in 2021 that were great. I tried to start. I do this every year or two. Tried to get through the Decalogue,
Oh God.
the
Yeah,
Kieslowski
you do try to do
box
that
set,
every year.
and I
Yeah.
only made it through the first one, which is a great film. So I've seen that one several times, but I have not seen
That
the
is
rest of them.
so funny.
And I hear
Why
that the
don't you
rest
do
of them
one
are
a
good.
year?
I probably should just do one a year, but I wanted to refresh myself and watch the first one again, which is really good.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I might still go through them. But anyway, I did watch the Double Life of Veronique, another Kieslowski movie this year.
Yeah, is it good? I've been wanting to see it.
It's very good. I heartily recommend it. It might be one of my favorite.
How'd you
movies.
watch it? Legally?
Blu-ray.
You're a hard copy man. Some people collect books, you collect Blu-rays.
Well, sometimes it's hard to watch these movies.
Yeah, it's hard to get your hands on them.
Sometimes it's hard to get your hands on them, and sometimes it's like I kind of want this from me bookshelf or me movie shelf.
Yeah.
But that movie, I don't think it was on the Criterion channel. I was like, yeah, whatever. It's like it was also like $30.
Oh, that's not bad.
Sometimes, I won't buy like a full price Criterion ever. I think that's
well,
a
yeah.
fool's errand.
What do they go for? Like 65 or
They're
80
like
bucks
usually
or something?
$60. Yeah, unless I need to have it day one. But it's like I know by now that they'll go on sale several times a year now.
Yeah, and everything drops prices. And I think maybe Criterion's like really trying to compete with all of the stuff out there, and so the hard copy game has to become a bit cheaper.
Yeah, I think they realize that now because it used to be. I remember the first couple of Criterions I bought. I remember it was like $50 for like a DVD, not even a Blu-ray or a 4K thing.
Yeah,
So
and with no like amazing special features and interviews.
there was special features and stuff.
Oh, okay.
That was part of the appeal, but also, it used to cost a lot of money for
an arm and a leg.
just a DVD of all things, and then now that thing is like worthless, kind of, because like I don't want to watch this.
Yeah,
I gotta get the new version now.
you got to
I
get
wanna see
that
it.
more resolution.
Yeah, but the Double Life of Veronique looks awesome.
Yeah,
Beautiful cinematography and very cool story, and watch it.
Kieslowski's a beast.
He's a beast. Yeah, I'm starting to be like, oh, maybe I kind of.
Is he the goat?
I mean, I have seen most of his movies except for, I guess, the entire Decalogue, which is 10 or 12 films or something like that. So,
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm starting to think he is kind of like up there with like Kubrick and, when they're like, oh, these are the best filmmakers ever.
I do think Kieslowski's up there for sure.
Yeah, because the Red Trilogy, great. Double Life of Veronique,
yeah.
great. If I'm basing the entire Decalogue off of the first one, amazing.
Yeah.
So
is the Decalogue like one giant movie sliced up?
Well, it's
Kill Bill
technically a
style,
TV.
or is it?
It's a TV miniseries, so it's like 10.
Oh,
but they're like
right,
movies.
right.
They're movies, so like they're an hour long, except for the last two, I think, or which are like 90 minutes each.
But here's the thing, Mike. There's this paradigm shift now, which I think people are starting to talk about because television is normalizing very long, basically feature-length runtimes,
Yes.
right? And they're like simplifying production value so that you can get like a very cinematic experience, like The Mandalorian, for example.
Yeah.
It's like you're basically watching 16 movies
Yeah.
because they vary from like 33 minutes to an hour an episode. And you're basically just watching an episode of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like from the film franchise. So I think the definition between film and TV is becoming this blurred thing. And I know filmmakers are peeved and TV makers are stoked.
Yeah.
Because an hour and a half like indie movie, it's like, why would I watch that when I can watch one episode of an amazing, I'll just watch Succession.
Yeah. Yeah, but
And then I
also
can just
Succession.
watch-
I watched Succession for the first time this weekend,
Oh, really? That's
and
funny.
it looks like The Office.
Oh, really?
It's filmed like
they
The
shoot it on
Office.
film.
Well, they do shoot it on film.
Yeah.
Oh well, they shoot it like an episode of The Office.
Weird. Well, maybe a better example is like Euphoria or something.
Yeah. Okay. I've never seen that show either, but
It's great. It's weird. You just watch high school kids have sex and stuff. It's really, really
Yeah.
weird.
it's very cinematic. I'm to understand.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's beautiful. Just from a visual standpoint, it's absolutely stunning. But it's also shot on film, and Marcel Rev, who shoots it, knows what he's doing. But anyways, I just think like the whole movie thing, it's like, oh, I put my heart and soul into this indie movie. And they're like, that's one episode of television, you fool.
Yeah, but they also have to cut corners for the TV shows in order to make it not expensive. So there can't really be a heck of a lot of set pieces, I think, right? So like
That's
in The
true.
Mandalorian,
Yeah.
it's a lot of just people talking in rooms, and then
There's a
maybe
lot of
one
action.
shootout. There is? Okay.
Yeah, I'm halfway through the second season, and I'm like, it's crazy how much action they put in. But it's written like it is like TV, like everything's very tight, right?
Yeah.
The beats are very clear. But it's like it's not like Seinfeld where it's like, oh yeah, we have like 3 sets and we just kind of cycle through them and just create different scenarios. But that's the thing, like the whole LED wall thing is revolutionizing how they can make upscale TV for a lot less money.
Yeah, I guess so.
And
Yeah.
super quickly.
Yeah, I guess that makes a lot more sense.
Because I think like the Mandalorian's sort of in like scale wise not that dissimilar to like episode 4 of Star Wars,
Right.
in terms of scale and what actually happens.
That is true. I have seen the first episode of The Mandalorian, so I do know what it's like. I've never seen the rest of it, but
I'll say this too, like I thought the Baby Yoda thing was like all hype. That little prick is so fucking cute. I literally can't even.
oh yeah, his name is Grogu.
Man. Oh, he's so cute. Oh
Yeah.
my god. And his relationship to Mando. So cute.
Yeah, people aren't talking about the Boba Fett movie or show as much as they were talking about The Mandalorian.
Yeah. I think
people are
The
just
Mandalorian was like very
burnt out.
fresh. Boba Fett's probably a little like, okay, well, we get it, Disney. You
Yeah.
own Star Wars and you're just milking this shit.
Well, it's like all of the new stories of Star Wars. I think people are more excited about than the Solo movie, which I think they say they kind of bombed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think maybe they're kind of, well, they clearly haven't learned because they just came out with this, but hopefully they learn that people don't want to just see their nostalgia reheated, even though that's what I think a lot of people think they want.
Mm-hmm. What if, because Werner Herzog, I'm sorry, I'm bringing it back to The Mandalorian, but Werner Herzog's in The Mandalorian for a brief stint as a bad guy, and it would be fun, just like all these cool filmmakers who are like European. Although is Kieslowski, he's dead now, right?
He's Polish, and
passed
he
away?
died. He died
he's
at the age
Polish.
of 50
Oh,
or
wow.
52.
Yeah, in the late 90s or the early aughts or something.
I can't remember. It must have been the early
Yeah.
aughts.
But it'd be cool because like you can tell that cinephiles are making The Mandalorian because of all the cameos and stuff. And I think Werner Herzog was just like a fun flex for Jon Favreau and all the people who created that show. And there's a bunch of like small characters cast by or played by like cool people. Anyways, it'd be fun. Just like it's fun to see this thing where people are like, oh, I'm just gonna get all these filmmakers I admire and put them in these funny franchise TV shows or whatever. That's like a fun new thing.
Yeah, maybe TV is kind of the place where cinema lives in some ways now. I mean, no, maybe what I'm saying is TV is where storytelling, I guess, is done better. Maybe I don't know. I not to suggest that just a longer movie makes a bad story.
Better movie.
Yeah, but it just seems like movies these days are just getting longer and longer. Like every movie you go to see at the theater is like 2.5 hours or something like that.
Yeah.
Whereas, on TV, they still have to like, even if they're on a streaming service, they still keep the episodes fairly short and digestible. So the storytelling is a bit tighter and a little bit more efficient.
Yeah.
And then with, the production stuff that they can do, like on The Mandalorian and stuff, they can make these like more cinematic things cheaper as well. So it's almost kind of like a better place for creativity in some ways.
Totally.
I say that as someone who doesn't really watch TV.
That's true. You're a cinema only kind of guy.
But maybe I should get into TV more. No, I'm not cinema only. I just can't start a thing that's like 10 to 20 hours long.
It's intimidating.
It is intimidating, even though, and it like goes to show. Yeah, I couldn't even get through Decalogue. I stopped after the first day.
You will game.
I will game. That's the thing. I will play a poorly told story for 60 hours.
Yes, but a very like well articulated, constructed story that's 10 hours. You're like, that's too much for me.
I am currently of the belief, and maybe I just haven't experienced the right thing, but that people are saying video games are the next frontier of storytelling. This is like storytelling done in like a way we've never seen before. It's like, no, it's actually just poorly done, like tropes from movies, kind of just sandwiched into game mechanics. And a lot of the time it doesn't work, in my opinion.
No, totally.
But you have to free yourself from that, I guess, when you're playing the game and not worry too much about it. Like I'm playing a game right now called Yakuza 0.
Right.
And yeah, it's like a long ass game. And the story is brilliantly told. Like the cinematics are really, really well done. And the story is like super serious. But then as soon as you're not in the story and you're just kind of up to your own antics, it's the silliest game. So there's like a crazy tonal shift. Like you encounter this like local pervert who does this stupid dance all the time, and then you get points for every time you like interact with him, and he's always telling you where all the hot girls are and stuff, and it's like has nothing to do with the main story of the game where you're like a crime lord.
I wonder what like entices people to add texture like that. They're like, what really like ground this game and make it a little more interesting is just like a pervert kicking around, just doing pervert stuff.
Yeah.
And so there's this subplot with points. Like it's, they're enticing you as a game player.
Yeah.
To like hang out with a pervert in this game. That's weird. I don't know. That's silly.
Well, but also like
so
movies,
cinematic.
Movies don't have side stories.
Right. That's the thing that video games offer that film and TV have side stories or B plots, C plots, D plots, but film is not really built in that way.
Yeah, because if I was telling a story or if I was trying to write a movie or whatever, and it was structured like the way that I was playing the Yakuza game, where I would do a couple of like hours of the main story and then just do like a good 4 or 5 hours of side stories, just like looking for people to
looking for pervs.
It'd be a terribly told story because it's like I went on this long tangent. If I was orating this, it would be really a bad story because people would be like, "What on earth is this story
What's
about?"
The point?
Yeah.
That's true. That's a good point.
But it's like a little tiny mini things, and then in the end, it's all about the experience. I feel like it's not really the story itself. So I think people put too much pressure on video games for being like this new frontier of storytelling when it's like really not. But it's a whole other experience. And I think the problem with video games is that they're trying to be movies sometimes, and they're at their best when they're not trying to be movies.
Well, every medium has their strengths, and it's funny when people start to lean away from them.
Yeah.
And try to morph that medium into another one.
Yeah.
And it's like, is that a noble effort, or is that just a waste of time, and you're just going to degrade the strengths that a certain medium has, whether it's TV, film, video games, novels? I don't know. That's an interesting thing.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do another episode of From Justin to Game, and we can get into this more in detail, I guess.
I think we should, I have a wireless N64 controller now. I've been gaming pretty hard. Started playing Star Fox, very hard.
Star Fox 64? Yeah.
Yeah. It's very difficult, and it's not what I thought it was, but
no.
Wowie.
You got the Rumble Pack?
It's tough. Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. That's part of the experience.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah, it's tough though, man. It's tough.
That's the thing that video games pioneered that movies only eventually copied, the Rumble Pack.
That's true. That's true.
They did D-Box seats or whatever they're called after the Rumble Pack.
That's right.
Probably not in response to it though. They probably weren't like, oh yeah.
No, they needed to add another D.
They added to add another D, yeah.
There's so many Ks, they needed another D, What else, Mike? Any other 2021 highlights?
I don't think so, no. How was the pod?
How was the pod this year?
Yeah.
I think pretty good. I think pretty much the same as the year before.
It was our first full year.
Oh shit, that's right.
Because we started in May of 2020.
Oh, damn. You're right.
So now it's like a freaking job that we volunteer for.
Yeah, it feels like we've been doing it for way longer. Not in like a bad way, not like oh my god, it feels like it's been 10 years, but it feels like it's like definitely one of the pillars of my life now.
Well, that's good.
Oh, yeah, it's this ever-present thing in my life
that I have to be thinking about.
Yes, and like sometimes stressed.
Yeah.
It's nice. Sometimes it's Friday night. Mike's like, you down to record 8 a.m. Saturday morning? And I'm like, I haven't watched either film. Oh, fuck. What do I do? And then I like get off set at like 10 p.m. or midnight or whatever. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to stay up all night, watch these movies, and then go to bed at 5 a.m. and then push the recording till noon. It's great. It's very healthy.
Oh, yeah.
It's a healthy work-life balance.
Really, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's great because you get forced to watch a lot of movies that you wouldn't watch otherwise.
Oh, I know.
Like
yeah.
street trash.
Yeah, street trash. Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying just getting to see all kinds of garbage.
I love garbage.
Yeah, I like garbage for whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe this podcast.
Yeah.
I know I've heard some podcasts where they talk about bad movies sometimes, and they resent it. They're like, "Oh, this is the worst. I hate this."
I like watching bad films. Actually, somebody brought up the fact, they're like, do you realize that you're forcing yourself to watch like really terrible film? And I was like, yeah, that's the fun of it. There's like a genuine enjoyment. And you learn like a lot.
Yeah, and sometimes we like the bad movie better than the good movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally. Well, good movies, dime a dozen. Am I right?
They kind of, yeah.
Plus, I love bad things. I'm a rom-com aficionado. I like Marvel. I like bad things.
You like bad things. Sometimes it's good to be bad.
Yes, exactly. The good, the bad, and the Kanines.
Nice.
Yeah. We should do a spaghetti western episode in 2020.
I'd love that. I have a Sergio Leone box set that I got when HMV went out of business.
I have an idea. What if? Oh, I have the same box set. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But what if we did a Once Upon a Time in from Justin and Kane, and every film that starts with Once Upon a Time, and then there's like Hollywood, America,
China,
Once Upon a Time in the West, China. There's a bunch.
Yeah.
What if we watched all of those and did a mega episode?
I would be into it. Yeah.
And they're all like long ass movies. Like they're all really epics, right? And I just think it's such a weird title trope to use.
That's a good idea.
I think that'd be a fun episode. Well, we said it here, so we have to promise.
We promised it. We're not going to do it next week, obviously, but we will do it eventually.
No, I mean, I think it would be like a thing we're working on along with our main, watching habits.
Yes.
But just bust out, all the Once Upon a Times.
That's fun.
Because there's probably 7?
I think so. Yeah, there's probably
7 3-hour movies.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And also, we got to change things up,
Yeah, totally. The Kanines are going to stop salivating for this programming, and they're going to move on to another film dog podcast.
So let's see. We got Once Upon a Time in the West, Once Upon a Time in America, Once Upon a Time in China, Once Upon a Time in China 2, Once Upon a Time in China 3, Once Upon a Time in China 4, Once Upon a Time in China 5, Once Upon a Time in Peru, Once Upon a Time in China and America, Once Upon a Time in Manila.
Once I'm going to say this.
In the Midlands, Once Upon a Time in Mexico, Once Upon a Time in High School, Once Upon a Time in the Hood.
And
these are only the ones that are
into
in
a
English.
mega project.
Once Upon a Time in Phuket, Once Upon a Time in Brooklyn, Once Upon a Time in Vietnam, Once Upon a Time in Ukraine, Revolution, Once Upon a Time in London, Once Upon a Time in Ukraine, the war. Okay, so that must be some sort of miniseries.
I'm not gonna watch all those movies. I think we just do all the famous
Once Upon a Time
there's
in
like
Palestine.
6. No, I'm not doing it.
There's 60-ish films, and I'm just saying the ones that are in English. I don't know what the other ones are.
I'm only gonna watch 7 at most. I mean the really famous ones.
Okay, Once Upon a Time in the Wild Wild West.
I recently watched Wild Wild West. Man, that movie is so silly and terrible and fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
And I love the casting is so weird.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Kevin Kline.
Yeah. Well, and Kenneth Branagh is in it as a bad guy.
Oh, you know what? We technically watched Once Upon a Time in India, Lagan.
That's right. So we've already seen one, and I've seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and so
I've seen that. Yeah.
And then I've seen Once Upon a Time in the West. And I've seen Once Upon a Time in Mexico. So I mean, maybe we bang out 3 more and call that a mega minisode.
Yeah, Once Upon a Time in America, Once Upon a Time in China. Those are the iconic ones, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. Yeah, that is a title trope that really,
frankly, overused. I guess
nobody's
made Once Upon a Time in Edmonton yet.
Oh God.
Maybe you'll be the guy.
Maybe I'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody wants to see that, even people in Edmonton.
Well, it's that thing. It's like how you get home from work and then you just watch people doing your job in your free time as well, you know?
Yeah.
It's just a weird psycho move that we all make.
A true psycho move.
Yes.
Say the phrase, Bob.
This feels over?
Yes.
Nice. Oh, that's the end of the episode. Oh my God.
We're just going to do a mini-sode, right?
Right. It's already long.
Well, it's long enough.
Yeah. Okay. Did you have a good year, Mike? Even though it's all crazy and shitty?
Relatively speaking, yeah. Didn't get COVID yet. That's my big goal for the pandemic, is to not get the virus that the pandemic is based on.
Yeah. Well, good for you. That's great. Mm-hmm. My goal is to get it as many times as possible, and I'm failing.
You're failing.
So I've been trying, but it's just not happening for me.
Yeah.
So I'll keep on trying.
Yeah, but I watched a lot of movies, played perhaps too many video games, read not enough books in terms of media consumption, I guess. But
yeah, that's another thing. I'm going to read more books this year. I know that's a cliche thing, but it's true.
You know, once you get into a book, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this definitely feels over, as does the last year feels over.
Yeah,
now
the last year definitely feels over, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess when you say this feels over, it's like 2021. This feels over.
Feels over, yeah. Well, Frig, thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everybody. See you next week when we go back to normal style episodes.
Yes. Goodbye.
Goodbye.